Ian Pick in Kuala Lumpur with the top stories on Al Jazeera. The Obama administration has announced new guidelines on when and where it reserves the right to use nuclear weapons. The U.S. Defense Secretary says Washington will not use nuclear arms against any state which abides by the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, even in the case of a biological or chemical attack. However, he also warned that all options are on the table with non-compliant countries, particularly North Korea and Iran. At least 95 people have been killed after heavy rain caused flooding and landslides in the Brazilian state of Rio de Janeiro. The region was hit by 15 hours of non-stop rainfall, the worst downpour it's seen in 40 years. Mudslides swept away shacks in poor hillside slums. The flooding has paralyzed the city of Rio, closing down schools, businesses and transport. A tsunami warning has been lifted after a magnitude 7.7 earthquake struck off the coast of northern Indonesia. The quake was centered about 200 kilometers northwest of Sibolga in Aceh province. There have been no reports of serious damage or casualties. Buildings, including hospitals, were evacuated as people sought safety in the streets. North Korea says it sentenced an American man to 8 years hard labor for entering the country illegally last month. Arjelan Mali Gomez was also fined $700,000. South Sudan's main political party says it will boycott Sunday's parliamentary and municipal elections in most provinces in northern Sudan. The Sudan People's Liberation Movement claims the electoral process has been rigged in favor of President Omar al-Bashir and his party. The SPLM has already withdrawn its candidate from the presidential poll. Toxic gas, which is building up at a flooded coal mine in northern China, is delaying efforts to rescue 31 mine workers still trapped underground. Shanxi province officials now say 7 miners have died. Rescuers managed to pull 115 miners to safety on Monday. Rescue efforts are also being hampered by narrow tunnels, which have prevented the installation of large pumps to remove more water from the mine. And more news as always on our website aljazeera.net/English.